newly sort of, let's say, this retooled search here for Brian Laundrie at Carlton Reserve, really closer to Myakkahatchee here. Walt and I are going to talk more about the DNA that was collected over the weekend. That was an interesting development. And two, we're going to continue to take your hashtag HeyJB, hashtag HeyWalt comments and questions here. Let's take just a couple here and get through some of the comments that are already filed in here in our queue. And let's see here. Let's take this one. Jill Dixon, hashtag HeyJB. When will we get Gabby's autopsy results, and when will it be released to the public? Of course, we had the funeral and the memorial service yesterday in New York, and now there's a lot of people wanting the autopsy results. And again, what we expect is there to be preliminary autopsy results at least released first, and that could come today, Walt. I mean, that could come today, that could come tomorrow. That's probably something we're going to find out sooner, I would imagine, rather than later, unless it's an extremely complicated case and it's a non-obvious cause of death from the medical examination that's been conducted in Northwest Wyoming.
Well, it was ruled a homicide just last week, correct?
Right.
And at that point, the body was found only a week ago Sunday, and then the autopsy, I believe, the results or the manner of death was released Monday or Tuesday. I don't have the timeline in front of me, but at that point, when they conducted the autopsy, as they started at that coroner in that county in Wyoming, came out and said usually their autopsies take 2 to 3 weeks. So now we're getting into week 2. But you're right, preliminary results could happen. We could know the cause of death sooner rather than later if they're able to determine that, or not. Again, I know people are frustrated, but keep in mind, this is an open criminal investigation, and the agents and the officers involved, they have a goal, and that is to make a case and to see what they can prove in court, and that's their goal. Their goal is not to inform us. I will tell you this, a shout out to the FBI. I had emailed last week trying to ask, I think it was Friday, asked, was that $1,000, more than $1,000 in the indictment of Brian Laundrie, the indictment for credit card fraud, was it one lump sum taken out in cash, or was it many transactions across the country? And I really didn't expect any result because
response from the FBI.
Imagine how many
inquiries,
emails they have, and I did get a response. It wasn't what I wanted, but they did respond. It was not a robo response, and they said, we can. What the FBI always says, we can either confirm or deny any of the details, but at least they did respond, which says a lot about those folks out there. So they're very busy, and they're getting a lot of questions like this one.
Let's talk now about the DNA. Thank you, Jill, for your question. We're going to talk about the DNA again. 8 on your side.
All right, I'm going to stop that for a minute to address this real quickly. In Texas, I'm telling you, she got 33,000 views doing that. Well, we're going to try it. But I do have to address this. LC, that was complete bullshit. Chris is disgusting for doing what he did. That is not that guy's Twitter. Has absolutely nothing to do with him. It was absolutely sick what he did, and vile and disgusting and irresponsible, and it's mind-blowing to me. Absolutely fucking mind-blowing. I heard that rumor too, but the rumor I heard, she had a prior AB? What do you mean AB? Hey, Ginger. What do you mean prior AB? He's doubling down today. I know. It's ridiculous. Absolutely disgusting, ridiculous. He is pathetic. Ginger! Absolutely pathetic. I don't know. It seems, someone was telling me, I was on the phone, that they looked it up. She got like 33,000 views, and all she did was run JB. Hey, Jenny. I was like, well, you know what? I'm going to do it. I'm going to just run JB and let's see what happens. I go, I'll probably get 50.
And senior investigator Walt Buteau joining us. We've got Eagle 8 HD's Paul Lamison in the sky here as well. We'll be listening in here for Paul. I'm just going to bring his levels up here, so if anything comes through from Paul, we'll be able to listen in. But right now, the search for and the manhunt for Brian Laundrie scaled back to the point where Paul can't find where they are, where they're searching here near Myakkahatchee. That's a considerable development considering all the crews and everything that we had over the course, of the week prior here. You remember some of this video that we received here, showing, them trekking through the mud. And not to say that this isn't happening, but Paul is as experienced as any chopper pilot and photographer in the country, and he hasn't been able to find them, and he's about 35 minutes, 40 minutes or so into combing through here. We'll bring it back up here live, the very, very rural Carlton Reserve near Myakkahatchee. So you can use hashtag #HeyPaul, hashtag #HeyWalt, hashtag #HeyJB, and we can animate your comments here on screen. But let's talk about what occurred over the weekend. The DNA sample that was reportedly collected from the Laundrie family house here, Colleen Claire Hartigan Larson, hashtag #HeyJB. I would think they'd have gotten his DNA way before this. So let's put away Colleen's comment here, and let's show you the video that occurred here over the weekend. I'm going to walk you through what exactly transpired here. This is, again, from the weekend. Yesterday, right, Walt? I mean, this is yesterday. So the FBI pulls up here. There you see the black SUV. FBI gets out, and they head right for the front door here. Walk right here into the Laundrie home. They have a officer then stationed outside here to ensure, of course, that nothing compromises the execution here of them again collecting the DNA sample here, or DNA evidence here. They go in, and we're going to kind of flash forward here now, because they were in the house for 3 minutes, Walt. 3 minutes. We counted 3 minutes, and they were back out, which is very, very quick. So they went in there likely with the intention to get something specific. I've heard things, talked about, and this is pure speculation, but of course on Twitter, like something as simple as a toothbrush. I mean, going in there to collect something, put it, of course, in that it's there with the officer here, or with the agent of the FBI, and then they drive away. It's that simple. So what do we know, Walt, about this DNA sample that was collected here at the Laundrie family household yesterday?
Not a lot. We know the size. We know what you said, the amount of time they were in there, which would lead you to believe that they knew exactly what they were looking for. But yeah, there's no doubt that the FBI had been in there last Monday. And the assumption was they were looking for DNA at that point. They also have his Mustang, and they have Brian Laundrie's Mustang, and they have the van, all of which we can believe would have been scanned for DNA. Here's what experts have told me, though, and police officers. And I've called 7 retired FBI agents this morning, several police officers, and we're reaching out to some DNA experts. One thing to keep in mind.
Hold on, Paul's opening his mic here.
Hey, JB.
Let's communicate with Paul here. Hey, Paul, it's JB. What'd you find?
We haven't found anything. I just wanted to give you guys a shot of this because earlier we showed it and then we didn't for a while. This is the new makeshift command center. This is where they started the original search. This is in the Myakkahatchee Environmental Park. And you see, this is really the only activity we've seen, and we haven't even seen activity. We've seen vehicles parked, and we haven't seen any of the people. But you see there's about 10 vehicles out here. There's a Sarasota Sheriff vehicle, there's Northport Police, and then 3 unmarked vehicles, 4 with the trailer, almost like they're going to set up a command center, but there isn't a command center yet. This is the only sort of activity we've seen, and again, this is the area I wanted to show you at the beginning of the park. So that's nothing new, JB, but just wanted to give your viewers a chance to see where the search is centered from. This was the original area where they started searching. So I'll throw it back to you guys.
Thanks, Paul. Again, we'll keep your mic open and crystal clear in the event that you see something out there that you'd like to report. Mic will remain open. Thanks, Paul. All right, Eagle 8 HD's Paul Amison, as I tried to ask him a short time ago here to keep us posted on anything that he finds out there. But yes, that was at the very beginning of our stream here in a couple of different places, a couple of different social media platforms. So if you missed it, that just goes to show that the headquarters for the search efforts is smaller, and clearly the search efforts are smaller. And it's not that they're trying to conceal that. The spokesperson for Northport Police saying here this morning that the search efforts are being scaled back and more targeted based on intelligence, which is of course interesting, and we can talk more about that here. But Walt, we were just talking about the DNA evidence. I'll let you continue.
Well, so a child's DNA could be very close to a parent's DNA, very, very, very close. And again, if they're building a case, they don't want very close. They want as close as possible. So as this one officer said to me, in a perfect case, in a perfect scenario, you would want the DNA of the child and both parents, so that the expert that could then tell the difference and sort of rule out the parents and sort of show that that slight difference between the three types of DNA. Because in a house, in a family's house, you're going to have the DNA of everyone who lives there, and you could get hair samples from a father and a son, and a defense attorney could theoretically say, well, wait a minute, you don't know that's so-and-so's DNA. And so you want to be as close as possible. And a parent does not have to give up their DNA. And if they found three various types of DNA in there that are very close to each other, they wouldn't know whose is whose. And then to try to match that to a crime scene, now again, you want to be as close as possible. And it's all about building a case. So for all we know, they grabbed something in there that they know belongs to Brian Laundrie. And now they want to use that to potentially match it to the scene of this homicide or something else. He, again, only a person of interest, not only a person of interest. It's very close to be a person of interest and a suspect, but just a person of interest, not a suspect yet in that case.
Again, wanted on that federal arrest warrant for credit card fraud using the Capital One debit card that it was said to be, of course, that's illegal. And now the subject of the federal arrest warrant for use of unauthorized access devices. Still have that indictment right here in front of me. A lot of papers here on my desk.
A quick note: on Friday, late in the afternoon, we were both here. I was finishing something up, and I checked Pacer one last time. At the bottom of the Brian Laundrie docket, it said arrest warrant, a new arrest warrant. And of course, I'm thinking, oh my gosh, here it is.
So we are scanning, of course, here, folks, and staying very much on top of any new documentation that comes through here on this case. A lot of documentation could be available this week.
Sure.
It could become available in the next couple of hours. So we're going to stay on top. And if there's significant documentation that becomes, again, publicly available through a public records request, or it's just uploaded to Pacer, we'll, of course, pass that along here to you and break it down. And we're live here on WFLA Now. And if there's any new developments here, whether it's pertaining to documentation, the search efforts, something going on outside of the Laundrie family home, we'll, of course, let you know about it.
But in this particular case, that document that I thought was a new indictment was actually the old indictment, but they had just reposted it with a slight parenthetical adjustment. So it was alarm went off at first, but it was just a slight adjustment to the original indictment, which is for the unauthorized access devices, which is the credit card fraud case.
We'll continue to take your hashtag HeyJB, hashtag HeyWalt questions here. A lot of people theorizing if Brian Laundrie isn't at Carlton Reserve, if he's not at Myakkahatchee, if he's not where authorities are looking, then is he somewhere else, and where could he be? We're going to get into some of those questions and comments coming in here, including I had a very curious one just come in here a moment ago. But let's just stay on the DNA evidence here for another minute or two. Rebecca English, hashtag HeyJB. Didn't they just go there last week? Why wouldn't they have taken it at that time, Walt?
Well, I bet they did, but did something happen during the week that said we need this? Again, I'll say it again. They could have collected DNA at a house, at any house, speaking hypothetically, because nobody's charged with anything. You could collect DNA at a house. You could have...
I thought that was live. It's supposed to be live.
Discarded belongings there, like you just found there with that mobile home that appeared to just be abandoned?
Yeah, here's what happens, JB, out in this area. This is basically this road, and this that you see right out there, that's almost like the southern end of the Carlton Reserve. Now, and this road is almost the other end of it. So out into here, you get into more people's property. And so I think that's what we were on. When you see property, I think people maybe store stuff, and it kind of blends into the park. But out in the main part of the park, we haven't seen anything like that. That's why it really caught our eye, because we were really near the edge of the Carlton Reserve where it goes into people's property. Like, I'll show you this. This is Carlton Reserve as far as you see, but if I move the camera to the left a little bit, right over here are homes. So these are people that live close to it. So then when you get close to that, I think you're seeing stuff, and I think that's really what that was. At first, it struck us as odd, and we wanted to check it out. We saw the deer stand, then we saw the old trailer, but we also saw some construction. So we think we were probably out of the reserve. Now that we're back in it, this is what we see, and we really haven't seen anything like that before, and I think we might have been too far outside of the search area. But again, JB, anytime we see something that strikes us, we come back and check. So that's, I think, could be it. I don't think it's anything. But again, there's the command center, and we might have been a little too far out of it, but we just wanted to check it out anyway. So I'll throw it back to you, JB.
Thanks, Paul. We'll, again, keep your comms open here, and if you spot anything interesting, don't be shy. We'll keep your mic open.
Okay.
So back here with you live here, folks, JB Buno, Walt Buteau. I think that's a very interesting portion of this search here, because we've been talking, Walt, we'll go back to, there's more questions in the queue here about the DNA component of this. We are going to resume that conversation here in a second. But let's talk, because our YouTube, hello YouTube, Facebook, and our audience watching here on social media just lit up with people saying, wow, so that's an RV, that's a mobile home, an abandoned mobile home. And while, we don't know if that has been searched, if that particular unit has been searched, and we don't know if how many of those types of abandoned mobile homes or abandoned RVs are out there. But let's just point this out. We've been talking here about the elements over the last 10 days. The nonstop rain, shelter, having some form of shelter is advantageous for somebody that is trying to disappear out here. And while being in that RV and being in a camper like that for an extended period of time would be unbearably hot. It's still it's still a place where, in theory, you could hide. Now, is that too obvious of a hiding spot for somebody like Brian Laundrie if he is, in fact, out here trying to elude authorities? But I just want to note that our comment section just lit up here. And I asked Paul, I said, Paul, like, how many RVs like that? How many abandoned mobile homes and campers are out there like that? Because if there's a lot, then in theory, Brian Laundrie, if he knows the area well enough, he can move from one to the other. But at the same time, you would think that makes it way more simpler for the FBI and for law enforcement, Walt, to find Brian, because that would be an obvious place to check.
Right. But, you could theoretically, since he might have known, somebody had pointed this out to me on Facebook, that the noise that the search was making could theoretically alert someone to go to a new location when they heard that noise.
Hold on, Paul.
Go ahead. A couple things for the later newscasts. So if you want to turn my mic off for a little bit.
10-4, Paul. Thank you. All right, Paul is going to be recording some reports here for our newscast later on tonight here, so we'll put his mic down temporarily and we'll bring it back up here soon. But Walt, continue.
Yeah, I think that. But at night, if he is confident enough to know there's not boots on the ground at night, I guess you could go into something like that if you are desperate, especially in the rain, I guess. Although, I don't know, if you're theoretically running from something, are you really that worried about getting wet in the rain?
I think.
Who is Ryan Upchurch? I keep hearing this guy's name. I have no idea who he is. Someone told me he was famous. I've never heard the guy in my life. Who is he? And I want to clear something up, because there seems to be some misconfusion about this. The actual reward. Oh, you love it, Lab? Good. The actual reward is $30,000. All these other people that are saying they put up rewards, it's not officially. There is no official. They're saying they put up money, but it's not official. It's official. His reward that the FBI is holding is $30,000. I have to clear that up. Yeah, I don't know who he's a country singer. That's why I wouldn't know him. I don't know country. But I've heard a lot of, in Chasing Truth today, I heard a lot of people talking about him. I'm like, who is he? He's an independent. Don't be so square, Mom. I never heard of him. But that's what I'm saying. Everyone's talking about there's like 180,000, 200,000. Not officially. The official that actual people took money out of their pocket and put it into a fund is 30 grand. He's country rap. Is he on YouTube? Oh, you sent me a link? He could be anywhere at this point. I agree. All right, let me just block this for a second because I'm known to open shit up. Ryan Upchurch.
Every Friday night, there's steady cloud good, and they got that feel.
What am I watching? Which one am I watching? This one? Am I watching? Which one am I watching? He's an amazing person, not really into his music, but he's great. I don't know who he is. Hey, White Lotus. Which one should I watch? He's got a few of them. You know, if you look real fast, that looks like porn. When I look real fast, I see porn. Am I the only one? You guys, can you guys even see that? You guys can't see that. So you probably think I'm crazy. Hold on. You probably won't be able to see it that small. That looks like porn at a quick look. We're not live anymore. We're missing out. That looks like porn real quick. Met someone at the park. Well, that's what I said. That was my theory, that he met someone at the park. R. Kelly is guilty on all charges. Now that's going to turn into a race thing. Cinnamon Hot Hot. What am I watching? Hey, Cindy. Which one am I watching? I don't even know who Adam Calhoun is.
Grand Canyon, Grand Teton National Park. Yeah, that's extremely far away to be tagged in the same thing as Grand Teton National Park. From point A to point B is 10 hours and 45 minutes in a car, 655 miles. All right, so look, I went on Instagram and I did hashtag Grand Teton, or however you say it, National Park. And I scrolled through hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of pictures. So I started screenshotting a lot of shit that looked odd to me. Anything that was like in the same area, same time frame, anything from like September 5th to September 11th. So then I'm looking through the top post of hashtag Grand Teton National Park, and I see a picture that shows up in the top post, but now it doesn't say that. It says it's tagged the Grand Canyon, which is 10 hours away. But look at the date at the bottom of the picture. But if you go to the timeline that everybody's been drawing out, there's a gap between September 1st and September 11th. September 1st, Brian returns home. September 11th, Gabby reported missing. So the same profile that I found under the Grand Teton National Park hashtags, the top hashtags, that had the Grand Canyon that is almost 11 hours away tagged in their picture, also posted a picture saying that they were in Antelope Canyon. Guess when? September 11th. The same day, Gabby Petito was reported missing. Now, do you remember the video that surfaced that said Brian went live and he was on a boat.
Another rumor floating around that he appeared on Instagram Live accidentally for 2 to 3 seconds, and viewers saw water.
Okay, let me just say this. There is nothing on his Instagram that's from Brian's actual account that show post after July. So I don't know what the fuck he's looking at, but it's not right. Because Brian's real Instagram, there's nothing posted after July. Like, he had nothing after July. So this is bullshit.
As if he were on a boat. And that's the real reason why the FBI called off the investigation in the Florida Wildlife Refuge.
Now hold on. Let me show you what Antelope Canyon looks like. This is Antelope Canyon. Look at all this water everywhere. And look, how convenient. An airport. Not only that, dude, listen to this. When Gabby Petito was reported missing on September 11th, from September 11th and backwards, this Instagram account, they're not covering their face at all. And they're in hospitals and everything. From September 11th forward on this Instagram that I found, they're either wearing a Corona mask or they're not even looking at the camera. So you mean to tell me this person a couple months ago is not wearing a mask nowhere, not covering their face nowhere, not even in a hospital? Shit, they weren't even covering their face or avoiding the camera on September 8th when they were up there where they were at Grand Trentino National Park, whatever it's called.
I have to look. He may have had 1 or 2 in August, but I remember mostly July. I know she had some in August, but I thought his ended in July. But he definitely didn't have any in September.
But now they're outside at another park wearing a mask and not looking at the camera. That's weird. So I was like, what the fuck? He's going live. They still ain't found him. Weird. They were in the same national park around the same time. The van was found down the street from a bunch of RVs. Well, earlier this morning, I found the post where apparently Brian Laundrie posted a story on his Facebook. And that Facebook was linked to his Instagram, which are both missing now. And listen, bro, you can say whatever you want. Oh, no, he got hacked. Oh, that was fake. I don't give a shit. It was hooked to that. And guess what? That picture was taken inside of an RV, and RVs were right down the street. When I was looking at the story that was posted on Brian Laundrie's Facebook, I zoomed in to the TV that's off, that is in the RV. And I said, bro, that looks like there's a face in that mug. All right, bear with me. Nose hole, nose hole. Shape of nose. Right here. Eyeball. Eyeball. Dark, short hairline right here. Area where his mouth is. Now watch when I erase everything. Hang on. Yeah. Then I went to this mysterious person's Instagram we're talking about right now, and I start skimming through his pictures and screenshotting his pictures. So then I put the face that's in the TV in the RV that was on Brian Laundrie's Facebook, and I take this mysterious guy's face and put them side by side.
That's not Brian Laundrie.
What the fuck? Dude, my fucking brain hurts. Alright? I'm not gonna tell everybody what this Instagram is, because I could be fucking wrong. If the FBI sees this, please don't kick open my door, because if you do, my old lady's gonna kick my fucking ass.
He just showed a picture of somebody that's not Brian. Like, is he out of his fucking mind? It's ridiculous. It's like it was some of the dumbest thing I ever saw. He's saying it lined up to Brian. That wasn't even Brian. Columbo, you would.
You're fighting actors. Alright, You motherfuckers think I'm crazy after this? Something's fucking wrong with y'all. So remember earlier when I took the face out of the fucking TV screen inside the RV and I matched it with another guy's face that I went searching for under the hashtag of Grand Teno National Park? Yeah, you remember that, asshole? Do you remember how far away Grand Teno National Park was from the Grand Canyon? 10 fucking hours, right? Yeah, asshole? Grand Canyon National Park, which is where I got that picture from of the guy and matched it to the RV face, is only 5 hours and 59 minutes away from Yucca Valley, California. Well, guess what happened in Yucca Valley, California on June 28th? This is Lauren Cho. Lauren Cho was last seen on June 28th, walking away from a home she had been staying at in Yucca Valley, California. This is Lauren Cho. So when I looked at that weird Instagram this morning that had a hashtag and it was tagging the Grand Canyon for no fucking reason, and I matched a face to what I seen in the TV screen, everybody's like, oh no, you should go to fucking bed. Well, good thing I fucking did. I just showed y'all the male's face this morning. Now I'm gonna show you the female face that's on the same fucking Instagram. Hell, I'll put them side by side for you. The woman on the left is missing, still. The woman on the right is on the same Instagram as the dude is.
Okay, I want to thank everyone for telling me to watch this guy because I take nothing he says serious. I can't even with this. I can't. Those two women look nothing alike other than they're both Asian. Wow. Just wow. This guy needs to stick to music. Like, for real. But if his music is any good. Because his detective skills are definitely not very good. If he thinks these two women look alike, these two women look absolutely nothing alike. Different mouth, different facial structure, different... I mean, they both have Asian eye sets, different eyebrows, different hairlines. Like, they're not even close to being the same person. So his detective skills completely go out the window. So, thank you guys for letting me see that, because now I know he's completely full of shit. No, Fun Pants, he's saying they are the same person. He's saying that these two people are the same person. They're not even close to being the same person. So hopefully his music is better than his detective skills. Hopefully. Alright, I've seen enough of him. I see a different pose. Columbo, you're out of your fucking mind. Absolutely out of your mind. Alright, let's see. Refresh. Yeah, it's all previously recorded, even though it says live. Alright, let's see if there's anything on Twitter. Nope. Let's see. Address to Brian Laundrie, not Gabby. As I said, I would have been a yes if they were addressed to Gabby. They're for her, but not addressed to her. I don't even know what this is. Huh? I don't know if this means anything. Replies to this address are monitored. If you have questions about your order, when you order custom designs, they are produced as closely as possible to the picture. Please remember that each custom is custom made. No two arrangements are exactly alike. And color substitutions of flowers may be necessary. Prices and availability of seasonal flowers may vary. Brian Laundrie with an address. In memory of Gabby Petito, your soul shines bright. I guess someone sent flowers? I don't know. I mean, she did live there. Sending escape floor arrangement to be delivered on 9/27. So there you go. Flowers are being delivered to Brian Laundrie's house in honor of Gabby. It seems like a waste of flowers, but hey, what can you do? Hey, Killer Crimes. But hey, what can you do? I don't get the point, but... Let's see what else. Brian Brian Laundrie's family called the police after Dog the Bounty Hunter showed up on their property. I don't blame them. Police should have been called when their son came home on September 1st. That's a good point. I don't know if this is anything, but it's on the latest.
Now leading the manhunt for him following the funeral of his fiancée, Gabby Petito, this weekend. Their first step, requesting DNA evidence from his family's home in Northport. That's where we find Fox 13's Kimberly Cuisin live with the very latest developments for us. Hi, Kim. What can you tell us?
Hi, Linda. Well, you may hear some noise behind me right now. We have some people that are outside of Brian Laundrie's house, rather, here in Northport, asking for answers and justice for Gabby Petito, as the nation is. But moving back to what's going on today, we know that up until this point, Northport police had been the lead for the search for Brian Laundrie here in Northport, with multiple law enforcement agencies assisting them. Now they're telling us that the FBI is leading everything, including the search, which has now scaled back. And going straight to the video, Sky Fox was able to spot a few crews in the area of the reserve. There are unmarked cars along with a few Northport police cars still searching and looking for signs of Brian Laundrie. As the scaled back effort continues, this is happening. After the FBI showed up to the Laundrie house yesterday here in Northport, they requested items of Brian's to assist them with DNA matching. The FBI showed up as Gabby's friends and family in New York gathered to remember her and her life lost way too soon, as they continue to wait for answers and any signs of Brian Laundrie. Once again, live back out here outside of Brian Laundrie's house. These are just two people that are out here demanding justice for Gabby Petito. As we have been out here, there has been little movement outside of the house, but if there are any developments or if we learn of anything new, we will bring it straight to you. Linda, back to you.
Yeah, quick question, Kim. Are they, the protesters, demanding anything specific from the parents or just justice?
Yeah, so these two people, they've been out here. At one point in time, they actually had press shirts on earlier this week saying that they were covering the Gabby Petito story. But they're just asking for the family to let authorities know where Brian Laundrie is. And they're calling for that justice for Gabby Petito, much as the nation is.
All right, Kimberly.
Welcome, Sarah. People can mistake them and be wrong. So while there's not much going on, I'm going to play Tracing Truth's video for the interview tomorrow. It will be member-only chat, just because it's one of the things that I give to members and then once the interview is over, I'll open it up to non-members, members, Patreons. So if you want to speak on an interview, you might want to become a member. Just saying. Where do I think he is? I think he's not there. I'll tell you that much. I don't think he's there. From everything that I've seen, everything that I've read, there's no way that he could possibly be there. I'm just not seeing it. It's too swampy. It's too dangerous. And I just don't think he's that close to home. But I also, at the same time, I don't think his parents know where he is either. I really don't. I think he may have lied to them to help them, so they wouldn't be put in a position where they would have had to, out their own son. I'm sure his lawyer advised him, if you're going to go, don't tell anyone where you're going to go. Hey, Anastasia, don't tell anyone where you're going to go. You ever get a hair in your mouth? All right, got it. I think. I didn't get it. All right, got it. I just don't think that his parents know where he is. And that was probably the smartest advice that anyone gave him. Hey, Chasing Justice. I'm sure that's the smartest advice anybody gave him. If you're going to go on your own. Don't tell anybody where you're going. Stacy's, I know, I slipped. All right, so let me just see if there's anything new before I'm on the latest. It's in Spanish. 8 minutes, 8 minutes. Here's the delivery of flowers.
Somebody delivered flowers. Why are you not to the laundry house? The officers? Why are you hiding behind attorneys? Why did you not even speak to the Petito family whenever Brian returned home on September 1st? You knew he was dead, and you have done nothing but help and aid and abet him to leave. You guys need to hold yourselves accountable. You need to hold yourselves accountable and start doing the right thing. Stop complying with law enforcement officers. Tell them everything you know. We want justice for Gabby. We want justice for the Petito family. You are the only ones that are standing in the way of that. We demand answers. The police demand answers. The world demands answers. We want justice for Gabby. We want justice for the Petito family. You are the only people that can provide those answers, and you are not complying. You are horrible.
Okay, let me just state that is so wrong on so many fucking levels. I just can't. Leave this family alone. Like, for real. They didn't do anything. They're just protecting their son like any parent would do. That kind of shit drives me nuts. Absolutely drives me nuts. Have you ever looked him up, Killer Crimes? If anybody's curious who Jonathan Lee Riches is, go look him up. He is one of the biggest trolls known to mankind. He's in the Guinness Book of World Records of trying to sue celebrities. He is like a total loser. So I just go look him up if you have any questions. But I just don't know why they won't leave his poor family alone. Like, I understand, but they don't have the answers. It's not like Brian's sitting in the house. The FBI probably tapped their phones. The FBI probably have tapped their cars. If they knew where Brian was, I'm sure they would say something. But all these people are making them prisoners in their own home. You're not going to get anywhere by making people prisoners. You're just not going to get very far. You're not helping the situation making them prisoners, whether you want to hear it or not. You're just not. He has hundreds of lawsuits. Exactly. It's pathetic. I think the parents know more than they've said. They probably do, but they're still protecting their son. And as a parent, I don't blame them for wanting to protect their son. I'm sorry, I just don't. Especially for knowing everything that's going on. He'll never get a fair trial, nothing. Okay, I'm glad he put up a reward for $50,000, allegedly, but let me show you something. The Brian Laundrie Reward Fund is $30,000. So anybody that says that they put up money, they didn't put it in the official reward fund. So before anyone says how this one gave this one gave that, the official is $30,000. That's it. That's all there is, $30,000. So anyone, I could say I'm putting up $100,000 too. Doesn't mean I actually took it out of my pocket and put it in. Nobody has put it in his pocket except $30,000. That's what the reward fund is right now. They're not enabling him if they don't know what is going on. If his parents know nothing, it's not enabled. Yeah, he posted but didn't donate it to the fund. Exactly, Killer Crimes. That's all I'm saying. But I hear people saying that he did this. He hasn't done shit yet other than talk. When he actually takes it out of his pocket and puts it in the reward fund, then he put it in the reward fund. Until then, it's just bullshit. Just saying. And I don't know the guy, but I'm tired of hearing people say that. The actual reward fund is 30 grand. That's it. See, I don't know if his parents know everything. I don't. It's very, very, it's not 170,000. It's 30,000 officially. Hey, East Coast Beauty. And Colombo, they might not. But until we know something, we can't convict parents of doing something when we don't know. In my heart of hearts, do I believe they knew where he was at the beginning? Yes. Do I think they know where he is now? No, I don't. I really don't. I think a lawyer would tell him, we don't want to know where you are. If you're going to disappear, then you do it on your own. If you're going to disappear, we don't want to know. Because if we don't know, we can't be indicted. If we don't know, we can't slip up. If we don't know, we can't say anything. But you can't say, why aren't they looking for him? Because they're prisoners in their own home. Think the parents put a target on their back. That's possible. I don't disagree with that, Richard. I really don't. I think they did kind of put a target on their back. No one knows anything. There is definitely a lot of assuming because nobody knows anything. The only thing we know for sure, Gabby is dead and Brian disappeared. That's all we know. All the people put up money for War Fund. There are 5... Canine Rescue, show me the clip where they said that, because the actual reward fund is $30,000. Do you think they're using that lawyer to go between? I don't know. I don't know if they can wiretap the lawyer. But I'm pretty positive that their phones are wiretapped. And I'm pretty sure the lawyer told them their phones are wiretapped. Hey, Caslin. I'm pretty sure the lawyer told them, say nothing in your house or in your cars, which is, in my opinion, why they drove to Orlando to meet the attorney. They got top-notch equipment, I agree, but then again, they lost them. Don't forget that. Caslin, you want me to check? What do I think about this? Okay, Brian's parents are doing 100% the right thing. All right, so Caslin sent me a post. Prior to Brian returning home from the trip by plane, he didn't fly home by plane. He informed his parents Gabby almost got arrested. Yeah, that's bullshit. They got a lawyer for Brian after the roadside MOAB incident to ensure. I don't believe that either. Brian and his parents then moved Gabby out of the house. I don't believe that either. In Brian's absence, Gabby's family did not volunteer to help her drive the van back. Yeah, none of this is all bullshit. This is total bullshit. Brian's family knows Gabby's family is less than forthright and less than helpful when the couple were on the road. That's bullshit. The father, helped her, so that's bullshit. The news and media have not once mentioned that Gabby was stuck in Moab with the van. She could not drive. That's bullshit too. She could drive it. It was her van. The news and media have not once mentioned that Gabby was so mentally unwell that her father had repeatedly ordered Uber. That whole thing is retarded. Oh, sorry, I didn't want to use that word. That whole thing is ridiculous. Completely false. There's not one thing on there that's real. Where'd you guys go? There you are. Police officers stopped Gabby on the side of the highway. Damn motherfucker should feel guilty and fired for charge for lack of investigation. You have to know your children and the way they act. I doubt he came home and acted normal. Yeah, I agree with that too. I don't think either. The library is a quiet, safe place for Laundrie's talk. Yeah, I don't think anybody knew where they were going to meet until the very end. Because this way they couldn't be tracked. I mean, but even as much as I love and respect Brian Enton and his coverage on the case, I mean, they made a live just to say his mom walked out of the house and got in the car. I mean, come on. Give this woman some space here. Oh my God, she took a shit. Oh my God, she went to the bathroom. Oh my God, let's go live because someone, it's bullshit. Caslin, don't believe the hype. Total bullshit. Columbo, you hate everyone. But, yeah, that whole thing is total nonsense. Total nonsense. So, 2 hours ago, Brian Laundrie Reward Fund, $30,000. 2 hours ago. That's all the reward fund is, $30,000. 2 hours. Brian Laundrie Reward, $30,000. Hey, Rainey. So for tomorrow, welcome sub. I couldn't see who it was though. Or maybe I'll do tomorrow. I don't know. I'll figure it out. I heard he rode on the back of an airplane straight into Afghanistan. That's another thing. I don't care what anybody says. Still have not gotten proof, solid proof, that he flew home. I don't believe that whole story. R. Kelly made some good songs. Yeah, R. Kelly's a perfect example. Money doesn't always get you out of the system. Not always. Perfect example. They just found Brian in Delaware in a basement with Joseph Biden. Sweet. Thank you, Cece. At first, I saw that. They found Brian. I was like, woohoo. Know if they know where he is, they have to tell his... Yes, that's why I don't think they know where he is. Gabby's family is putting money into her foundation. Yeah, they started a foundation for Gabby. He faces life in prison. Damn. A 6-week trial in Brooklyn included graphic and disturbing testimony about sexual abuse by one of America's best-known musicians. Found guilty of racketeering and 8 counts of sex trafficking. What was the video? Can we get a video here? I had to leave in like 15 minutes.
Jurors have just reached a verdict in the federal trial of R&B singer R. Kelly. He has been found guilty of racketeering. He is also charged with sex trafficking. These are charges that could send him to prison for decades, and CNN's Jean Casares has been following this case for us. We also have CNN legal analyst Ariva Martin. She is here with us also. Okay, Jean, this just happened. I know you are scrambling to figure out exactly what all of this means, as am I. So, guilty on racketeering.
And the Eastern District of New York, the courts just tweeted that out. So they are saying guilty of racketeering. There was 1 count of racketeering. There were 14 different acts involved, including sexual exploitation of a minor, bribery, kidnapping, and sex trafficking charges. So this is all we have at this point. Now, he's also charged with the Mann Act, which is a federal law involving sex trafficking. Now, nothing on that yet, so they could be in the midst of the reading of this verdict because racketeering was count 1. The Mann Acts were the counts after that, 2 through 9. And so we don't know how far they've gotten. But this is an extremely complicated trial. It is very, very sophisticated. It went for 23 days. There were 50 witnesses. There were many young women that testified.
Let me say this, though. Here's the problem, okay? He's going to go to federal prison. Federal prison is easy. I'm not saying it's easy. No prison, like, is good, but it's not anything compared to state prison. State prison, he would be raped. He would be fucking killed. He would be attacked. He would have to watch his back. Federal prison, he won't have to worry about any of that. Federal prison is almost like a damn country club.
That R. Kelly had kidnapped them, held them in rooms. They could only go to the bathroom or eat if they got permission from his people. They had to wear baggy clothes, they testified, unless they were in his presence. They could only look at him. They could not look at other men. It was tearful testimony, emotional testimony, and ultimately, the prosecution said it is time for him to be convicted.
We are just getting in more information now that he has been convicted of 9 counts, I believe, including the sex trafficking charges and that racketeering. So they're just announcing it, slowly. First was the racketeering and now the sex trafficking, because it would have been unimaginable for him not to be given what you've just said was the evidence presented in the court.
And sex trafficking was a part of the racketeering also, but the Mann Act specifically focuses in on sex trafficking, as just you're saying right here. This jury was 7 men and 5 women. It was a very diverse jury. It was a jury that listened to so much testimony, woman after woman. Here's one example. There was a former radio DJ intern who says that R. Kelly invited her to interview him. I mean, what a thing, right? When you're just an intern and he asks you, you can interview me. She went to his studio in Chicago. She said she was placed in a room. She realized she couldn't get out. And this was for days. She was finally given food. She remembers passing out and awaking and seeing R. Kelly readjusting his clothes. And so she believes that she was drugged, sexually assaulted, and that is one example.
How terrifying.
Yo, that's fucking crazy. Crazy. Absolutely nuts. Sex trafficking, that's a big one. People are insane. So before I go, I do want to show you guys this video that Tracing Truth put out. Replay of the morning. They talk about the rewards. I understand that, K9. What I'm saying, though, is what people actually what people say they're putting up as compared to what they actually took out of their pockets and put it in the reward fund is 2 different things. I could sit here and say that I'm putting up $50,000 to find Brian Laundrie, but until I actually take it out of my damn pocket and put it in the reward fund, it means nothing. That's all I'm saying. When I see the money actually hit the reward fund that the police or FBI are holding, then I give some merit to it. But until then, it's $30,000. That's all I'm saying. Anybody can say what they're putting up, doesn't mean they're actually putting it up. But I want you guys to watch this video. I am interviewing the dad tomorrow. I found the case through Chasing Truth. This kid is a 14-year-old gamer. I think of my own son. I totally thought of Dayton when I read about this case and when I heard about this case. He's 14-year-old gamer, pretty much stayed to himself. He's got like a 100-pound German Shepherd. Both him and the German Shepherd disappeared. There's not a single trace of them. There's some stuff I can't discuss live, but there's not a single trace of them. And being that he's a gamer, there's a lot of stuff that, really hit home for me. And one thing I will tell you, and I said this to Chasing, but one thing I will tell you, get your kids' passwords get your kids Discord names and passwords, because if your kid goes missing, they can't get it for you. The police need warrants to get into Discord. You can't get in. So, make sure you get your kids' passwords. Like I was saying to Chase, and like, I don't have Dayton's passwords, but I'm going to get them today. You bet your ass I'm keeping a list of all of their passwords. Like Apple won't let you in either without a warrant. Doesn't matter if you have a missing kid. So maybe if we can, I'm going to reach out to the gaming community to, after the interview. And, I spoke to the dad this morning, but I'm telling you, make sure you get, and listening, this kid like weighs the same as Dayton. It really hit home with me. Like this really reminded me of Dayton, and this could be Dayton. He said his son was very smart. He, talked about online stuff with him. There's like, he didn't think he would go meet somebody from the internet, and he brought his dog, figuring he was safe. So I want you guys to watch the video, and then I got to go pick up Phoenix. I'll be back later though, but let's watch the video.
Ladies and gentlemen, my name is Nick Smith, and I'm the Sheriff of Harrison County, Indiana. I'm here with the father. His name is Jeremiah McCarty. He's the father of a 14-year-old boy named Jacob McCarty. I'm a father as well, and I'm sure many of you are mothers and fathers yourself. A tragedy occurred on September 21st at 4:07 p.m. His son took his dog for a walk into the woods between May and Joe Rhodes Pool, known as the Corden Pool, and Pacer Court in Corden, Indiana. It's a wooded section of ground in between two main roadways. We have searched that area by ground and by air numerous times, and we've utilized canine teams. We have been unable to find his son. His son has an online gaming presence, like many of our children. We believe, with the information we've collected in this investigation, that his son had met someone online and had plans to meet them. At this time, we've reviewed hundreds of hours of camera footage for every business and every residence that surrounds that area. We have not been able to find him or who he went with. We believe that at this point, Jacob can't return, and we need your help. We need your help to share this with everyone that you know. Corden, Indiana is located about 20 miles away from Louisville, Kentucky. Look it up on a map. If you have a camera on your house, if you have a camera at your business, we're going to ask you for about 3 to 4 hours worth of time. 3 to 4 hours to do something for this father. Look at your footage. We're going to provide a picture of the son and his son's German Shepherd. We want you to look on that footage and see if you see this boy, his dog, or a vehicle that they're in. It might be a gas station. It might be a McDonald's drive-through. It might be anywhere. We do not have the manpower to check every camera in a 200-mile radius, but you do. This is the day that you can help him, another father. We're asking for your help. Jeremiah, is there anything you have?
I would just ask that if any time that anyone can spend looking at any cameras that they may have, please do it. Help me bring him home. Help me bring him home. He's such a good boy. He's such a good kid.
Ladies and gentlemen, if you look through your cameras and you find something, don't make the mistake of being a keyboard cowboy. Don't go on Facebook and put all the details of what you see. You need to call us immediately, or your local jurisdiction. If you have evidence, if you have a vehicle description, a clothing description of a suspect, and you put it on Facebook or social media, there's a good chance that person could see it too. And if this is what we think it could be, we don't want that going away. We want to bring his son home. Call us at 812-738-3911, or your local jurisdiction. 911 is just fine as well. But don't put the information out there. We want to help him. We don't want to help the person that may have his son hide him even more. All we're asking for is 3 to 4 hours. In a world where we're all disconnected and everybody's fighting all day long, we're still moms. We're still dads.
That's right. That's right. That's right.
Take the time to help him. We appreciate it.
All right. He's a single dad. That's his only son. He's raised him on his own for his entire life. He doesn't talk to his mom at all. And this could be anybody's child. But this man came home from work, and we'll get more into it tomorrow. But he came home from work. He pulled up in his driveway. He had a feeling something was wrong. Something just didn't feel right. He walked in the house, and he saw his son was gone. And his son told him 2.5 hours prior that he was taking the dog for a walk. By that time, it was raining. The dog doesn't like the rain. And son's nowhere to be found, and neither is the dog. All the video that they found, there's nothing. The cops were at his house till 4 o'clock in the morning that night. He got home, I think, around 7:30. The cops were there by 8:30. They were there till about 4. They, confiscated his computer and everything. There's been some local stuff with the police. With the kids at school. He was very short, overweight. He was a League of Legends player. So if anybody plays League of Legends, I know there's no age limit in League of Legends, but he was a League of Legends player. And I'm going to reach out to that community. I know it's a huge community. And, let's get this to go viral. This kid and his dog just disappeared into thin air. And he's 14. His birthday is in May. And I get tears because I think of Dayton. And I think how easy, you tell your kid over and over and over, don't talk to strangers, don't ever meet anyone online, so on and so forth. And then before you know it, this is your son. And it scares the life out of me. It absolutely scares the life out of me. And, just to know that him and a 100-pound dog disappeared, it's just weird. So, like I said, I'm interviewing the dad tomorrow. I reached out to him. Dad wants as much coverage as possible. I know that for some reason, guys that are missing don't seem to get the same kind of coverage, but we got to get the gaming community involved. Obviously I'm going to do more research and stuff, but because I'm interviewing the dad, I wanted to definitely put it out there. If everything lines up the way it has so far, then I am going to reach out to the gaming community and, let's get this kid going viral, because it's just not normal that he disappeared and his dog disappeared. I even said, because possibly like a crazy ex-girlfriend. He's like, anything is possible. It's just, I'm telling you guys, get your kid's info. He's having the hardest time with Discord. The police can't do it without a warrant. And Discord is not helping. So Apple's the same way. But the police have his computer. The police have everything. They have reason to believe that he went and met somebody that he met online. Dad is dumbfounded that there's no way he would do that. I taught him different, and I feel the same way, but you never know. It could have been a girl. They're both kind of introverts. It's fucking scary. It's definitely scary. So I really want to get this case. I really want to bring some light to this because, like I said, it just reminds me of Dayton. So I'm going to have the dad bring some video of him just so it becomes more personal. And everyone can see, who he is in his own, surroundings. But his name is Jacob, which is also Dayton's middle name. His name is Jacob McCarty, and it's out of Indiana. I think it's Clayton, Indiana. Okay, so Chasing Truth, it said 14-year-old Jacob Cole McCarty was last seen September 21st at approximately 11:15 a.m. as residence in Corydon, Indiana. Jacob is possibly wearing red Nike shoes. Also missing is his German Shepherd dog, Isabella. Isabella is possibly wearing a turquoise harness. Jacob is approximately 5'4", 200 pounds, shoulder-length black hair, brown eyes. If you have any information regarding Jacob's whereabouts, please contact Harrison County Dispatch at 812-738-3911, and there's a tip line. If he thought he was meeting another kid, I agree. It's scary. It's definitely scary. So I have to go get Phoenix. I will be back later. Hopefully there'll be some news. Oh, you're in Indiana? Awesome, Tawny. Definitely let the dad know that. And like I said, I'll be interviewing him tomorrow at 8 o'clock. And that's it. All right. So I'll see you guys later. And have a wonderful day. If WFLA was live, I was going to keep it running while I got Phoenix, but they're not live. It's just repeating. My luck, I'll leave and it'll be like, some commercial. So, all right. I will see you guys later. I'll see you in a few hours.